Good evening, world. Welcome to Jude's Word. I appreciate y'all tuning in to episode 44. This is my 1 year anniversary for doing my podcast. I started January 11, 2025. So it's January 11, 2026. That makes it an official year. So I'm clapping for myself, y'all. I'm clapping for myself. It's been a beautiful journey. It's been a difficult journey. It's been a hard journey. It's had its beautiful moments. But through everything, it's all about how bad do you want to be the very best version of yourself. You know, because everything you do, everything you participate in, everything that you identify with is setting a standard for yourself. And so when you want to set a standard for yourself, you're going to really, really understand, like, what standard am I trying to set for myself, for my legacy, for my kids? For, you know, just to make sure that your name is attached to something good. When they say your name, hey, my dad was always there. Hey, I was a great son. You know, things like that. That's your real. It's very important. So, January 11, 2025, that's when I started this podcast. It was an idea from God. That's what it was. It was me trying to figure out what am I here for. Trying to identify my purpose. I've always been something I ask God, what's my purpose, Lord? Like, it's got to be more than life than this. It got to be. Something else for me. Because how I feel and how my thought process and how my visions are coming, man, listen, I know it's something more for me. So, you know, it just stayed on my back. So, it was a vivid idea. So, the people who were close to me, I ran about, what y'all think about this idea, man? So, my boys was like, shoot, do it, man. Yes, you'd be great at doing that. Yes, do that. And, hence I am here for a year. So, I didn't know how it would go. I didn't even know if anybody would listen. Just being real. I didn't know how it would go, if anybody would really listen to it. But I knew that it was a point in my time. I was silent for a while. I was always soft-spoken. Like I thought more than I spoke. I was very quiet at a point in time in my life. It was kind of like God, like, hey, you got a voice. I need you to speak. So I knew I couldn't stay silent no more because God was on me heavy about speaking about things. And I couldn't keep the truth to myself anymore. Like the things that I've seen from my experiences with fatherhood, about growth, and having to be an adult and showing up in uncomfortable spaces to show, to live up to the ideology that you were taught what a man was, So a year later, here we are. Not perfect. No, I'm not perfect at all. I'm not polished. I have my flaws. I have my weaknesses. I'm honest. I'm being consistent with it. And alive in the work. Like, just being transparent, man. Like, being yourself. In a world that's not favorable to do nowadays. That's hard. That's hard to do. A lot of people not being themselves nowadays. Just being real about it. I'm going to be myself no matter what. So, hey. But this year wasn't easy, though. It was not easy. I ain't finna lie to y'all. It was not easy. Because today was really like a reflection. It's a reflection of how I looked at everything that this whole year brought me from the beginning of 2025 to now. You have to make that decision to do the best thing that you can do to improve yourself, and that's if it's isolation, that's if it's just cutting off the world, if that's getting closer to God, just so you can hear God closely. Like, I'm a firm believer in isolation. I've done it several times in my life. I love being in isolation. It's been a beautiful isolation. It's been a year of isolation, and it's been beautiful. And I've really enjoyed it. I've grown a lot. I have. Because I'm reflecting on, it's not on what I've done. Like, it's not about the podcast. It's what I've become while doing it. Like my growth. The fact of me starting this, and I've grown so much since the first time I turned on this camera. I've grown so much. Like, it's a beautiful thing though. Like, when you can see yourself putting in the work and you can see the growth, and you can see it, and you're fixing old wounds, childhood wounds from everything. Man, listen, that's the most beautiful thing you can do. That's the best of the most beautiful thing you can do, man. Yeah, because it was messy having to sit with yourself and figure out the things that you can improve on. Like working on yourself, like, man, listen, I can't be in this state forever. Let me continue to keep growing. So I just wanted, when you want better for yourself, you want better, you're going to change your mindset, you're going to work on yourself, you're going to change your ideology about life, the things you participate in, the places you go. Like, you're going to really be protecting your energy. Like, that's the main thing what isolation is all about. It's protecting your energy. Because when you realize who you are and what God made you to be and what you carry, you realize that your energy is precious. Everybody don't deserve your energy. They don't. No, they don't. But you have to understand that, though. That's the point of isolation, to realize what do you need to do while you're in isolation. Why do you need to isolate? What's the reason? What are the goals you're trying to accomplish? Like, where are you trying to grow? And it's not even about materialistic things. It's about spiritually and mentally and emotionally growing and accepting yourself for who God made you to be. God didn't make nobody to be perfect. I'm not finna try to be perfect. But I can acknowledge my flaws and I can love my flaws. And I can love me who God made me to be. He made everybody different. So love yourself. Love yourself. That's the main thing. That's another important thing of isolation. Loving yourself more. You put up with less bullshit when you are loving yourself more. You do. You put up with less bullshit when you love yourself more. You do. And so that's important because we have to protect ourselves, right? So, but yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I had days where I didn't want to do this no more. I had days where I was just like, it was hard. Because you growing and you speaking on your journey and how you growing, and a lot of things you kind of really got to tough through to really speak on to give somebody an ideology of the things you've gone through with fatherhood. Shoot, you get PTSD from toxic situations, you know what I'm saying, anything in life. So, I always try to get a fella that's close to me who are new fathers and everything. I give them the 411 on how to handle things when it comes to that. Be careful of this, be careful of that. Hey, just understand, pick your battles. Don't try to win a battle, lose the war. Like, just understand you got to show up in that space no matter how the relationship is, whether it's beautiful or whether it's ugly. You got to show up. That's definitely like, man, listen, that was the whole point of me starting this for real. Speak on faith, love, and just growth and peace. Like, out of the world, everything's so toxic, man. Everything's so negative. So my thing is, I just wanted to be a light. Tell people the truth. Be hope, like, to get you to really think about, look at life in a different lens. Don't look at it like it's, oh, my life's so messed up. Look at it like, hey, somebody got it worse than me somewhere. So appreciate where you are. If you just starting out on your journey to elevate, then appreciate where you are. Gratitude is going to take you a mighty long way. That's something that I've always had. I just tried to keep myself, have gratitude for everything in life. Because everything ain't always been pretty. But you got to find that silver lining. You got to find that diamond in the rough, in the middle of the rough, when you die now, You just got to find things that's going to bring the best version of yourself out. That's the main thing. That's why it's so important. But those are things I had to realize on this journey for a year. Those are the things that I really had to realize that. Like, man, like I said, I faced days I didn't want to do it. Where I thought maybe it wasn't worth it. Dang, why am I doing this? You start trying to second guess yourself sometimes. Everybody go through that. Or maybe I'm the only one in the world that do that. But okay. You start second guessing yourself. You definitely start second guessing yourself. But then you have to understand, though, man, when you're trying to change, man, the first thing got to go is your mindset. So if my mindset went right, I wouldn't have been able to do this journey. I had to have my mindset right. I had to have it locked up. Because I just don't want to work where I want to work, and that's it. I don't. Like, I got something else that's pulling at my soul. Like, this. I love doing this. I can be transparent. It don't bother me. It don't. It's when you don't care what nobody think. Hey, you gonna speak your life and you gonna be like, hey, look out for this, look out for that. If you receive it, receive it. If you don't, you don't. You know, everybody's word is not for everybody. You know, and you get that and you understand that. But you have to understand too, though, that just do you. No matter what, just do you. Like, the thing that you're scared to do, because you like, I don't know how it's going to go because you can't predict the outcome and how the journey's going to go. No, just do the action. You can't worry about the journey. Just do the action. Do that thing. Do it. Jump out there. My homegirl Ape, I was so thinking about trying to calculate business and get paperwork and license and everything in order. I was trying to do, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get the foundation straight. And my homegirl Ape was like, Jude, just jump out there and do it. Just do it. Just do it. Everything gonna come. Just go. Don't overthink it. Because I'm gonna overthink. I think about something till the cows come home on God. I will. And I intellectualize everything. I promise you. But, so I just jumped out there. Sometimes you need your friends to give you a little push, a little nudge. It's all right, go. Sometimes you need that. But remember to stay grounded. Remember to stay grounded. Stay grounded in your journey, man. Even when you're starting to see a little growth, stay grounded. Don't get caught up in that. Don't get too high on the highs. Don't get too low on the lows, like I said. Because if you live by the cheers, you will remove yourself by the booze. I promise you. So you just have to remain and stay grounded. No matter if it look beautiful, no matter if it look ugly, just stay grounded. Don't get too caught up in it. Stick to the script. Stick to the script. Always good to stick to the script. So January 11th is the year of me doing this podcast. Today is the actual day that I started the podcast in 2025. Like I said, it hasn't been a good year. I mean, it's been a great year, but it's been because of the results of the work that I put in on my journey to grow. It's been beautiful. And I can tell by the work and how I come and be transparent with you guys. I can be transparent. Like, I don't care, man, because I'm real. I ain't finna listen. I'm finna tell y'all the truth. That's what I'm gonna tell y'all. Uncomfortable conversations. That's what this is about. Uncomfortable conversation that we never want to talk about. That's the whole point of me starting this too. Speak on things, get wisdom, get knowledge. Because we can hear BS if we just turn on the TV and hear BS. We hear the BS when we turn on the news every day. I mean, so if you could be a blessing to somebody, why not? Why not get somebody an encouraging word? Because sometimes them encouraging words will carry somebody their whole day when they was thinking about the worst thing ever they could possibly do to themselves. That's why you should never kick nobody while they're down. That's a beautiful point to make. Like, never kick nobody while they're down. Get them an encouraging word. Life is hard out here as it is. Everybody got their own stuff they're going through. So don't beat them down extra. Like, to give them an encouraging word, man. God bless you or something. Just, I don't know, my heart and my mind different, y'all. I just think about stuff different, man. Because anybody can use an encouraging word. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's always good to be transparent, man. Gotta remove that ego. That's the main thing. Ego removal on this journey this year. Me doing this podcast, I went through an ego removal. God really sat me down and what? Going through ego removal is not easy. You have to face yourself. You have to understand, this is my flaws. Okay, what can I do to improve this? And can't nobody help you but you. Can't nobody help you but you, because you got to get out of your way. Changing your mindset, changing your thought process, how you move, how you view yourself. What's important? What's the important things about your journey? Why is this journey so important? We breaking generational curses. We setting up lineage. We setting up legacy with kids. Like, that's the whole thing. That's what the whole thing is, bro. It's all about setting your family and your friends up, the people who are in your circle, your tribe, your community. That's the whole point of us doing anything. Make sure our kids straight, so when we go, they'll be straight forever. That's the whole point. That's the reason why you are pushing so hard. It should not be the reason why you not continue to do that. Like, if that's your reason, let that be your reason to keep going. Never forget where you came from. Never forget humble beginnings. Because when you forget humble beginnings, you go right back to where you started. What they say, what you said, caps on Facebook, y'all. And a lot of people don't want to face themselves. Yeah, they don't. Like I said, I've been on isolation for a year now. That year done flew by. Man, listen, this is the most peaceful, the most happiest I've ever been in my life. Shh, man, listen. One thing about it, man, when you able to just sit with yourself and you understand and you get closer to God, man, and it's just make everything so much better. That's my journey. My journey's been difficult. Everybody has their own journey, their own ideology of their journey and what they're trying to get into, what they're trying to tap into. And so you trying to be a high version of yourself, a high vibrational version of yourself, when you really look at things for what they are, not just what they put in your face. Man, listen, that's a whole different level. That's a whole different journey. That's a whole different walk. Like I said, you have to strip down all the ideology you picked up on your journey and walk your imperfect self, the hurt part of yourself that you hid from when you didn't deal with your trauma as a child, or you didn't deal with things that affect you. You didn't express your emotions correctly. You just pack them in. I just stuff my emotions down. That's what I used to do. But this year has been so, like, it's a lot happened this year, man. It was some beautiful times, man. Listen, beautiful trips, beautiful moments. But the growth behind it was ugly. When the cameras go off, when the lights go out at night, and the crickets rubbing their crusty feet together, making that sound outside, you got to deal with yourself. You got to. The life that you want to be this. Everybody has these visions of what they dreamed or they want to go to as a child, man. Hold on to those. Those are not just dreams. Those are what God gives you. Hold on to those. But if that's what you want, you have to become that. If you want to get out of that rut, you have to become opposite of what you're in a rut. You see what I'm saying? When you change your mindset, you have a low vibration, a mid vibration, and high vibration. Every time you decide to face yourself and work on yourself one task at a time, you're changing your mindset. You're changing your mindset. You're working on yourself. So it really took a lot of me. What's up, y'all? It took a lot out of me going on this journey. It really did. But it's just a determination that, hey, I can't let my boys down. I can't. Shh. I can't let my boys down. They depended on me. Not my mama. Not my sister. Me. Because I'm the daddy. I'm a man. They depended on me. Yes, they mamas are the nurturer, but the kids always look to the daddy because the daddy got to make some shape. The daddy got to make some shape. Yes. And I just did not want my boys to grow up with absent moments with me not being around. I want to always be there, from the first breath all the way through. What? Man, listen, I'm there. Yes, I'm there. What? They sick? I'm pulling up at the hospital. Where they at? Yeah, I'm one of them daddies. Yeah, I love my boys. What? Man, my son broke his first bone in his foot for the first time when he was 5. Man, I almost lost it. Man, you don't think about, how much your kids mean to you. My kids changed me though. So the first time I experienced unconditional love was from them boys. They definitely give that. They definitely love. Yeah, they love their daddy. they love your boy down. They love your boy down. What's up? Good evening. Thank you for tapping in. Y'all tap the screen. Let me be in y'all algorithm. Y'all tap the screen. Year anniversary of Jews Word Podcast. January 11, 2025 is when I started. Today is January 11, 2026. This is the 1-year anniversary. Hey, God is good. It's been nothing but grit, consistency, and determination. It's got me to this point. And I just thank God for the opportunity. Thank Him for even blessing with this opportunity to do this on this platform. So, in a world of darkness and everything, I want to be the light. Hey, listen, it's all right. Keep your head up. Let's keep going. Life's too short, man. Let's brighten somebody today, bro. Let's brighten somebody, man. Y'all see the crazy stuff going on. The only thing we can hold on to is God, man. So just encourage one another, man. Let's stop fighting. Let's stop beefing, bro. That junk ain't getting to nowhere, man. Let's just stay focused and lock in. Let's just focus on ourselves, man. Let's get with the community and let's help each other out, man. Let's lift each other's spirits, man. Y'all see everything going crazy with food stamps, etc., etc., etc. So, yo, let's be a light to somebody's life, man. Like I said, you can give somebody a kind word and just acknowledging them and just speaking to them in a manner that they've never been spoken to can change their whole life around. Just 2 words, like, hey, how you doing? How's your day going today? Oh, what's up, big dog? Like, just give somebody a little joke, like, what's up? Especially like you make eye contact, I say, what's up? What's up? You all right? Yeah. I do that easy, though. But, yeah, like I said, I faced days where I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to get on here and talk. I was going through my transition and my growth and my transformation. Like, I just was like, emotions crazy. Mentally and spiritually and emotionally. Like, man, listen, when you trying to level up, like, you can be good, but when you trying to level up that and you trying to understand the fullness of yourself and understand, hey, this is not good. I need to work on myself. When you trying to look at yourself, man, listen, it's the ugliest time of the year. I promise you, you be like, man, it's definitely a challenging thing. I just thank God that I was able to recognize my flaws, recognize the things that I need to improve on within myself. Because the thing about it is, the situations that we put ourselves in, we attract them. Our mind is so powerful, man. Anything we think, bro, we're going to attract that to ourselves. We're going to put that into our reality just by our thought process. Like I said, there's power in the tongue. Be careful what you see, hear, and say. Because it's not just when you speak, it's power in the tongue. It's power in the tongue when you think, the way you carry yourself, the way if you got ill intentions or you manipulate on the low, that count too. Like, no, you gotta be straight solid with it. You got to be truthful with yourself. You got to. Because if you do not, it's gonna be pointless. So you really, man, it's been a beautiful journey. It's been ugly, but when you understand that through experiences in life, it's a lesson behind everything, and it's going to help you later on so you can figure out, okay, I understand. Now let me correct this. Let me see what can I do to improve this part of my life that's on weekend. Let me improve this. You know what I'm saying? It's always good to work on yourself because I'm first to criticize myself. I'm my own biggest critic. Out the gate, off the rip. I'm my own biggest critic. I am. So, yeah, my sons kept me going, though, on this journey. My sons kept me going. Because what's better for your kids than a healed parent? Every kid deserves to have a healed parent. We all had parents that didn't know how to deal with their emotions and the things that we didn't know, because you know how it is. We were raised different than everybody else. Like, these kids got it easy now. We were raised parents going through a lot of things mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and they didn't know how to deal with it. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it came off to us really harsh. It is what it is. Everybody that went through something. You know what I'm saying? They got that ultimate whipping. Like a samurai with 1,000 knives. God dang. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't tell my mama whooped me. I don't know about y'all, but I'm just saying though, like, when you think about that, you going through that time, it's rough. And your kids are your only focus to keep going. Like, okay, I need to keep doing this. I got to keep doing this. Got to speak things and positivity on yourself, because if you don't, who will? You're right. Cam on Facebook said, y'all, you got to think positive on yourself, because if you don't, who? Yeah, if you don't believe in yourself, who's going to believe in you? If you don't love yourself, how can you say you love God? If you don't trust yourself, how can you say you trust God? We're one with him. We're made in his image. He breathed his breath in us. He said we shall do greater things. We are more than conquerors. These are affirmations that he's given us. And it's okay. It's okay. We got to stop shrinking. We got to just live and be ourselves. We don't have to blend in. You can stand out. There's a lot of people that probably don't be themselves sometimes, but it's okay. Work on yourself and heal. That's the best thing you can ever do. It's the hardest thing you got to do, because you got to face yourself. But it's the best thing that you can do at the same time. Because the results, you'll see the results. Your life will improve around you. Your life will improve. Now, everybody ain't going to go with you to the next level now. But you have to be ready for that too. You have to understand that. What was I? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but my sons, they kept me going. Because when it's your kids, I see my sons, every other weekend, you get your kids, you work and get your kids. But it's not a consistent thing. So you got to have something during the week to stay focused. You look forward to that. I look forward to that time with them. Like going through this isolation journey, look forward to that time. Because that's the time where I know that I can be dad, I can relax, have fun with my kids, we play the game, whatever. That's this whole year, all this has transpired in this year, and it's been like crazy. Just the growth. Just everything I had to go through, everything I had to change about my mindset, change about my thought process, how I view things. Because, two things can be right at the same time and two things can be wrong at the same time. Because everybody has their own truth. So how can I say you wrong? I don't know your ideology or where you coming from for your thought process to be like that. That could be a reasonable decision on your end. So I can't judge your decision because I might do one of my decisions. You might feel like it's crazy. So how can we judge anybody's journey? How can we really judge anybody? Because we all got things that we need to work on within ourselves. I think if everybody focused on themselves and everybody took time to work on themselves, I think everything would be better. We won't be having all these killings and all this stuff, bro. Like, they're just getting old. I'm sorry, TikTok. Somebody hit F1. I forgot F1, y'all. F1. I'm sorry, F1. But yes. It's like every time going through that period of time, every day, when you having to deal with things by yourself, you have to deal with things where you kind of like, you want to lay low. You don't want to be seen. You don't want to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to be bothered. You don't want to be bothered by nobody on the outside. You don't. And maybe listen, I've done so many isolations. Isolations are not a bad thing. They're not. Isolations are not a bad thing. But they can be, though, depending on how you handle them. It can be a bad thing if you're really not putting in the work you use it as a disguise or something. But it's definitely a tall task. But you got to be up to it, though. What you want for yourself, what you want for you and your family. But every time I didn't want to do it, and I felt like, when I said I didn't feel like doing it sometime on this journey, man, like, even when I didn't feel like I didn't want to do it, I understood why I started. I remember why I started it. You see what I'm saying? So when you doing things and you want to do things that you love, man, just jump in head first and keep swimming. What Nemo said, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. That's part of the process. The process, the journey, it's the scenic route. You got to enjoy it. What J. Cole said is beauty in the struggle, ugliness in the success, right? So in the struggle, when you're going through, you working on yourself spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, you got to find the beauty in it. You got to find the things that stick out to you the most that help you get through that point in time in your life. You got to. Whether it's playing a game, whether it's retail therapy, whether it's hanging out with your cousins, no matter what it was, you found something in that period of time in your life and you held on to it and you just kept going. It gave you energy to keep going. And so that's basically like when you're on isolation, like you're healing from the energy that you dispersed out. You got to heal from the energy that you give out. That's the point of isolation. That's the point of it. You're healing. You're working on yourself. You're like, okay, listen, we made like 30 bad plays and got 10 good. Yeah, okay, we got to correct this now. We can't do that. Yeah. You have to evaluate yourself. No matter what the situation is, before you blow up, before you go crazy, before you do anything, evaluate yourself. Isolation is a perfect time to evaluate yourself. So during this year of isolation, I'm having to work on myself spiritually, mentally, and emotionally to understand what I need to do to correct the things in me that are not correct, that's hindering me from being a very best version of myself. That's the thing. Because when I started this, I was working on myself. I was in the process of working on myself when I started speaking. I wasn't healed through trauma and traumatic experiences in life, man. I wasn't healed. But I was making my way through it, though. I was pushing my way through it, though. And so me being in isolation on that journey, then when I started this, it was just like, be transparent and be real. Somebody gonna feel you, especially if they're a father going through the same thing you go through. Especially if you know what I'm saying, what you go through as a black man, period. And it's somebody that might be a different ethnicity or race might understand it. They might understand what I'm saying too. They might take something out of it that's important to them too. It's for everybody. It's universal. I'm speaking to souls. Like, hey, but I'm gonna speak truth. We're gonna have uncomfortable conversations. We're gonna be real. That's the whole point. I knew that the only way I could do this if I just had to be real. Ain't no way I couldn't fake it. I couldn't. I have to come up here unhealed in the process of healing and giving steps on the things that I struggled with or the things that I've experienced and giving you guys the gems off of it. Like, yeah. That's hard to do. Some people can't do that. But it's been beautiful because I love the growth. I don't like to make the same mistake twice. I like to keep going. I like to strive. I like to be consistent. I like to be persistent with anything I put my mind to and I do it. So my drive and my ambition has also kept me going. Like, because this is actually, man, this is part of my peace doing this with y'all for real. This is my peace. This is my peace. This is my peace. So that made it even much better. Like, I love to give gems. I love to drop wisdom. God said I couldn't be quiet no more, so I had to start talking. So it's, you got a voice, God say speak, you got to speak. But, those who get it, get it. Those who don't. But yeah, I didn't start here. I just started, and I was just honest, and I was transparent. I really pushed myself to put myself under the microscope, to be on this journey, to get on this podcast and be transparent, flaws and all. I put myself under the microscope to really work on myself to see, this is your thought of yourself. This is really the thought of yourself. Is this really who you are? Let's go into deep dive and let's unpack this. Let's see what's what and let's see who's who. And the only thing that's gonna happen, either I'm a barbecue or I'm a meal dude. Either I'm gonna build myself up or I'm gonna fall apart. A lot of people can't face themselves. A lot of people never come back from facing themselves. That's just being real. A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't want to do that. They do not want to face themselves. They don't. That's why it's so important. Thank you, Michi. I appreciate that, sweetheart. Happy anniversary. Oh, yeah. 1 year anniversary, y'all. 1 year anniversary. 1 year. Juice WRLD Podcast started January 11, 2025. It's January 11, 2026. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I appreciate y'all tapping in. Y'all tap the screen. Y'all share the live. Y'all share with y'all friends. Share with y'all friends. I'm just being transparent, telling y'all the journey about making it. When I started doing this and making it to the year anniversary. Like I said, I didn't start perfect. I just started honest. And, man, I put myself under a microscope. I did, like I said, I'm my biggest critic. I tell everybody, I'm my biggest critic. Before I say or speak or do anything, I'm going to check myself first. I always check myself first in every situation. Oh, my boy Sway. What you say, my boy? Boy Sway tapped in on live on Facebook. He said, my brother, proud of you. 1 year is crazy. Wish I was there to celebrate with you. First year of minute. We on this jet to the top, my boy. Oh, yeah, on God, Sway. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, shout out to my boy Sway. My boy driving them trucks now. My boy out there, big boy. I'm the biggest, the largest. Hey, my guy there on that road, running up them checks. Okay, my boy, I'm proud of you. Keep going, big dog. Keep going. I salute you. But, yo, I know you wish you was here, though, bro. I already know. Man, listen, hey, do your thing, bro. I'm holding it down. You got it. But, yeah, I put myself under the microscope. I had to confront my anger. I had to confront my ego and my pride. I had to confront my mistakes. I had to confront my mistakes and understand that everything I've been through in my life is my fault. Everything I've been through in my life is my fault. I know it's a hard pill to swallow for some. But it's a hard, man, listen. You have to get to that point of accountability. Everything in your life is your fault because when you speak it, when you think it, you speak it. And you put yourself in those situations. You do. You do. And you go through those things in those situations because you don't love yourself enough. When you love yourself enough, you won't tolerate certain things. You won't. I'm sorry, y'all. This Sprite kicking, baby. This Sprite kicking. Ooh, got to drink it when it's cold. Oh, God. Yeah. Accountability. Yeah. But, yeah. Everything I went through in my life, it was my fault. Yeah. I put myself in that lion's den. I put myself in that snake pit. And I had to come to terms with that. I've never looked for sympathy or empathy when it came to those situations. Never. I just knew that whatever I had to face, whatever I had to deal with for my boys, I'm willing to go through it. I'm too far in now. I got to see it through. Just being real. If I get myself in there, I'm going to do everything I can to see if that situation is going to work. And if I exhaust every resource I have to make it work, I'm out of 5,000, big dog. Pew! Come here. Never. Pew! Out of there. On God. All day. All day. But that's what you have to get to the level of self-accountability. Like, you have to look at yourself in the mirror and face yourself and realize everything in your life was your fault. Your thought process, your mindset, how you view yourself, how you love yourself, how you trust yourself, the people that you feel like loving you. If you really love yourself enough, you wouldn't have certain people around you. That's how a lot of people get put in bad situations, because they don't love themselves enough and they don't have a discernment enough to know who's a snake and who's not. All those situations, yes, it's my fault that I put myself in them. But the thing about it is, God makes everything bad for our good. Everything happens for a reason. Nothing is by chance. Everything happens for a reason. Because every decision you make has a positive and negative outcome that's going to happen. So even if you make the right decision, you're going to have a positive and negative outcome. Even if you make a decision that might not be the favorable one, you're going to have a positive and negative connotation to come about it. So you can't control the journey and the outcome, but you can control the action. Once you make a decision, you can't control the outcome. You just have to go through that test. Whatever simulation God take you through, go through with it. Chin up, chest out. Let's go. Let's go. And that's this whole year of me doing this podcast. That's been my journey. That's been my gauntlet. I feel like I was in a gulag. Everybody who play Call of Duty know. I feel like I've been in a gulag. Amber, don't you start today. Don't be in here being rude now. I ain't even see you. Don't do that. Don't you start that today. We looking at each other. We looking at each other. We facing ourselves today, guys. Year anniversary, self-reflection, self-accountability. Yeah, we got to realize everything in our life is our fault. Everything in our life is our fault. Everything we've gone through. Change our mindset. Do things differently. You can't, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. That's the thing. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. That's not going to work. You have to step outside of that box. You got to get uncomfortable. You cannot grow in comfortable places. And I had to learn that through this journey. I had to learn that. It's always a thing when you always want to do something better every year. That's my ideology. I want to do something better every year. I want to do something better every year. I don't want to be doing the same thing over and over and over again. No, that's not growth. That's stagnation. That's procrastination. I don't want that. So whatever I got to go through to get to that next level, whatever God want to get me through, what the baby said, I'm going to face it chin up and chest out. If my head fall, it's okay. I'll pick my head back up in a minute. And we're going to keep on going. That's what you got to, that's how you got to face life, man. My dad always told me, be like a duck in the rain. Let the water roll down your back. And never let them see you sweat. That was the mantra my dad gave me. Precisely, transformation is mandatory. Right, Meech? Yeah. Transformation is mandatory. Yes. Man, but You can't grow in comfortable spaces because you're too familiar with it. You have to grow in a place where you're challenging yourself, all your senses. You're pushing yourself. You're changing everything you identify with. You're changing everything that you feel like will make you you. You're changing that. You're changing what God says you, who's saying you are. That's the whole point of isolation. That's the whole point of, yes, chin up always. Yeah, keep your chin up. Yeah, chin up, chest out, y'all. 10 toes down. You gotta stay 10 toes. Right, book. Chin up, chest out always. Yeah, my guy. Chin up, chest out. What they say, I got the boots on the ground? Man, listen. And we ain't talking about Timberland. We going back to Jordan. We talking about high tech. How he stumping. That's how we stumping on 2026. I don't know about y'all. That's how I'm stumping. If I could, man, listen, I'm trying to push this isolation to 10 years. I ain't lying. Look, I'm trying to push this ball to 10 years. 10 years. 10 years. I'm trying to push this isolation to 10 years, if I could. And when you see yourself, you see the growth and the work you put in on yourself, man, that jump be beautiful, man. Like, you be like, dang. That's why I said when you look back at your past, the only thing you should look forward back is for reference, reminder, and re-energize. Listen, I'm telling you, the only reason you should look back is for reference, refocus, and re-energize. That should energize you to keep going further. That's what you're supposed to. That's the only reason your past should be even much a thing. You realize, dang, God has really brought me a mighty long way. I'd have been through everything. Look at that thing I've been through. Look how far I've made it, man. I can get through that. I can get through anything. Let's go. That's how you look. Not 10. It was all AI. Right. I said that, listen, everything up until my life, until this last year, my life has been AI. It's been body. Man, what? It was nothing but AI. Nothing but AI. It was all AI. I need some over my head. Hold on, what Future said? Is that you? No, this AI. No, that ain't me, y'all. That's AI. Oh, God. That's how, man, listen. Once you get to the point to where you want better for yourself and you think about everything that you did, the people you were talking to, and you know what I'm saying, like decisions you made about life, and you just be like, boy, that was AI, boy. What was I thinking? God, what was wrong with me? But they just show you your elevation. You can look back on the things you used to do, be like, why was I doing that? That was crazy. You know, that's the thing. That's what it is. Like, you have to realize the ugliness of yourself and just deal with it. You have to. You have to. Just adore it, like, why? Right. Like, why? Why did I participate in that? Why did I indulge in that? Like, that don't even fit me. Why did I do that? Like, but you know, that's when you go through that self-analysis process. Like, you got to analyze yourself. You got to understand, like, hey, that's not a good look. I don't need to do that. Yeah, that's not a good look. You got to be able to look yourself in the mirror and say, bro, we ain't finna do no lame shit. You know what I'm saying? You got to look yourself in the mirror and be like, man, I am not participating in that. Like, no, bro, I ain't doing that. Like, you got to really look at that. You be like, no, yeah, I'm leave that alone, big dog. Yeah, y'all got that. I'm good. Like, you know what I'm saying? You have to look at situations in life like that. You have to. Because if you just down for whatever, bro, like, you got to use your discernment, man. Like, at that point in time, man, nobody was using discernment. When we went through these things we went through in life, we were not using our discernment. We was being led by the flesh. We was infatuated. It was lust. It was, you know, we was idolizing them. You know what I'm saying? In a sense. You know what I'm saying? And so when you break out of that, you know, everything will be better. Thank y'all. I saw somebody say happy anniversary, your anniversary. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate the love. Share with your friends. Y'all tap the screen and get in y'all algorithm. Facebook Live, what's happening? Y'all talk to me. What you said, I was trying to see you be a special guest. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I'm doing any more special guests. I had a bad run with special guests. I'm good on that. Appreciate that, my cousin Rashawn Holman, my guy. Appreciate that. Happy on your anniversary. Oh, yeah, man. Just spreading light, man. Just spreading life, spreading truth. You know, I appreciate you. I appreciate the love and support. Yes. But this journey has taught me that me clenching on to my boys, and that was my light going through my little time in my isolation and the things that I've gone through in life. Like, through those periods of times, man, like, being a father, you have to understand that you have to work on yourself so you can be a better version of yourself. What's way? I wasn't trying to be funny. I was just saying. I had my run-in with special guests. I am done. On God, I'm done. Yeah, ooh, boy. Sway, you know, the special guest was crazy, crazy work. We forgot about that part too on the year, on the anniversary. Boy, we had some rough times. Boy, it was rough McGruff in this boy. But you know what though? We've grown, we've elevated, we transformed from that. So it was cool though, man. Like, you know, God, you know, He weed people out. Hey, weed them out. Hey, get them out of here, buddy. Get them out of here. But yeah, me clinging on to my boys, like, man, like, hey, I don't spend time with my boys. That special time you spend with your sons, man, like, it helped me realize that I can't show up for them emotionally if I'm not emotionally with you. If I'm not emotionally, you know what I'm saying? If you're emotionally happy, if they're emotionally happy, I have to match that. I have to enter their world. When, like, you spend time with your kids, you got to go in their world. You ain't by your rules, it's by their rules. So you have to use your imagination when you interact with their kids. I know I ain't the only daddy that play with their boys. If I have to show up in that space with them, I have to make sure my energy right. Because Kyrie used to tell me all the time, Daddy, your energy ain't right. You okay? You don't seem like it. It don't feel like it. That's what he told me. It's been times like that. Mm-hmm. And me realizing that, I tapped more into my fatherhood, working on myself being a better father. I was always a great father to my boys. There's never been a question, but there's always room for improvement. There's always room for even much more depth engagement. Because, you know, I want my boys to be able to come and talk to me about anything. Especially Kyrie. My oldest, he finna go to middle school. My baby getting old, he getting old on me. But I want him to be able to come and talk to me. So in order for me to do that, I have to enter his word. I have to play by his rules. I have to earn his trust. Just like he has to earn my trust, I have to earn his trust. Because we can be a parent, but are we gonna be the keeper of our kid's soul? You know what I'm saying? That makes sense. You can love your child on the outside, but can you love them internally? Can you pour into them where they soul hurting? Can you speak life into them? Buying them is cool. Okay, playing the game with them is cool. But what about when you have to have those deep, uncomfortable conversations about life and the things that they don't need to do that you've been through? Like, that's been a part of the journey also. So me looking at myself in the mirror helped me look at myself in the mirror as a father as I do them. I know how my sons look at me, but I have to make sure I'm on point because I'm not finna disappoint them boys. Man, God bless me with 2 handsome sons. I thank God for them. I'm not about to disappoint them. No, I'm sorry. I disappoint the whole world if I disappoint them. Man, listen. I promise you. That's always been like, that's my fire. Man, listen, my boys, that's who I do it for. That's who I do it everything for. I go hard as I go. Working on myself, going hard. I gotta provide them more than just money and nice clothes and drip. I gotta provide them some infrastructure too. And so I've always poured into them, but this is a different level of pouring. When you're working on yourself, you're gonna pour into them more. You're gonna identify with what's wrong. Like, hey, it's okay. It's okay. You'll be able to feel what's wrong with them before they don't have to say that. You can feel the energy. So you'll know. But all of us have been on this journey. We all have been on this journey together. We really have. Because you realize in the internal work of fatherhood that you have to do and you have to perform. So how can you perform internal work if you haven't even performed internal work on yourself? How you gonna do that? Where they do that at? You know what I'm saying? Thank you, sweetheart. 1/11/25, 1/11/26. Yes. Happy anniversary. Working on myself is the only way I could pour into my boys on an internal level. So if you haven't done that ton of work on yourself, how can you pour into your kids eternally and motivate them? To give them good, sound wisdom advice that's going to stand. Even after you say it, it's going to stand and it's going to impact them in a way that's going to keep them focused and locked in on what they need to do in life to grow. So if I have to grow, my kids got to grow. I have to grow in the way that I raise them, the way that I love them, the way that I pour into them, the way I speak it to them. That's part of it. Man, it's being a father isn't just a title. Fatherhood is not a title. Like it shows. Thank you, love, sweetie. I appreciate that. Yeah, I did, man. Listen, it's been a crazy journey for real though. It has been for real though. I appreciate that. It's good to be celebrated, not tolerated, y'all. It's always good to be celebrated and not tolerated. But being a father, it isn't just a title. It's a responsibility. It's not a role you just check boxes for. Man, this fatherhood is not a role that you check boxes for. It's not that. It's presence. It's accountability. It's integrity. And it's regulation. So you think about it, you got to be present for your kids. You got to take accountability to see your flaws because you want to make a positive impact on your kids. You don't want to leave a bad stain on your kids. I don't want my kids to pick up a bad habit from me. No. I want them to leave. I want to leave a positive light on them. Like, man, listen, my dad stayed down. Like he made sure shit was shaking around here. He made things happen. He made sure the bacon was sizzling in the pan. Hey, I'm just saying. That's what you want to do. And yes, I do identify as a black father. And it's not to, black fathers got such a bad name. Like, I'm denouncing all of that. I don't play by them rules. I don't operate. I don't identify with their ideologies. No. I don't identify with they said a black father. However they try to dog us and identify us. Like, I don't identify with none of that foolishness. I don't even play with none of that. But through society, man, like, as a black father, you judged. You're judged. And this journey, and these are things I had to realize, like, as a black father, society gonna judge me, they gonna doubt me, right? Even when I'm showing up. Even if I show up 100%, it's still gonna look different when you get in the courtroom, right? So what you have to realize is fellas, still show up. Still show up. Hold your head high, stick your chest out, forget what anybody got to say. And if anybody check them, then you check them. If anybody check you, then you check them. If you know what I mean. Check their box. Just saying. But hold your head up high. Keep your chest out. Keep walking. You can't worry about what people are going to say. You can't worry about what people think. You can't worry about what the system or the world think about you as a black man. You got to do what you got to do. Stay locked in, stay focused. And I've had to deal with that a lot. I have to understand what I am, and I understand how I need to carry myself and my thought process and how I need to be. I understand that. I understand how I'm labeled in the world. I get that. So I have to make sure that I'm intelligent to make sure my boys intelligent so they'll understand. I'm just being real. Just being honest. That's just the world we live in. I ain't no cap in my rap. I don't care. I don't care. I'm just being real. I'm a black father. And, we were raised and we got 2 strikes on us. So we were male and we black. That's the ideology of this year, how everything has been. It's just been a reminder. Look at the crazy things going on around the world. Like, you look at it, you just be like, wow. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate it. You are a phenomenal father and a great dad. Thank you, love. I appreciate that. But yeah, great father. I can't say certain stuff, so I'm gonna keep it all the way A1. you know, the systems we weigh by the system of expectations. Like it's like realization that you're destined to fail. Like people are trying to say that you're destined to fail because you're a black man and a black father. That's a lot of realizations I had to go through this year also. But I also had to understand that no matter what I go through, I can go through the fire, I can go through the water, I can go through whatever I need to go through. But I'm still showing up for them. So we, as black men, we have to put it in our mind to understand no matter what the odds are stacked against us, show up. Show up. I don't care. I ain't finna quit my job. Listen. I ain't finna do that. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. But, fellas, we gotta show up. You gotta show up no matter what. Yes. And seek ye the kingdom of God. Yes. You right. We do need to seek ye the kingdom of God. Meet you on TikTok said we need to seek ye the kingdom of God. Yeah, that's true. In this isolation, you gotta walk with God, man. God was a big part of my isolation through this year and this journey through doing this podcast, man. It's been, some highs and some lows, some upside down and side to side, man. What? Man, listen. Swear I wish you was up here right now, but we'll be cutting up right now. I ain't lying. I ain't even lying. But yeah. But I show up. I'm active. I'm present in every part of my son's life. No matter what that is. Like, I made my business to make sure I still show up. No matter how high I am, no matter how low I am, I'm still going to show up. And that's the main thing. When you face it yourself, you have to improve yourself. You have to love yourself, man. You can't be the very best version for yourself if you're not trying to better yourself and seek God, keep God in the midst of you improving yourself and seeking God in the midst of being a better entity for your boys. You covering all the things. You covering everything. You covering everything. The good, the bad, the ugly. You covering everything. And you showing up, not judging, just showing up with your authority and your presence. I've seen my boys, just the fact of me just showing up, them just seeing me bright as their spirit. That's all they want. They just want to see me. No matter what, that's all they want. They just want to see me. And I make sure that happen. Like I said, like, if my boys need anything, I'm going to do what I got to do to make sure they straight. They going to call me. I'm going to be like, okay, give me a day or two, or I'll be like, okay, I'll get to you. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll bring it to you tomorrow. Yeah, because they need to know that they're important and they're thought of. They're important. You know what I'm saying? Like, sports, whatever. He want to do, I'm down. Let's go. He want to be a mighty chess player. Well, let's be a mighty chess player. I'm going to get a shirt that say mighty chess player and put Kyrie on the back with the king symbol on it. I promise you. Yeah. Man, listen. Drew want to be a professional stargazer, astrologer. I'm going to have a shirt. My son is an astrologist with Drew name on the back with the 4 on it. I promise you. I don't care. But reaching that point of love, you gotta really love yourself, and you gotta really, the more you love yourself, the more you're gonna love your kids more. And you're gonna walk into, you're gonna handle things you need to handle, no matter how difficult they may seem, no matter how familiar or comfortable they are. You're gonna remove yourself from those environments. You are, because the isolation thing is very important. Like I said, y'all, the isolation is very important. It is. What you said? What Sway said, y'all? Oh, hold on. TikTok trying to pause me. Hold on, y'all. All right, I'm back, y'all. He said the things that we have been through in the past year could be a book on what and how not to be and what to do when you're rock bottom to build yourself back up. And that book will never be done being written. Right. Right, Sway. Yeah, this year could be a book for real, though. Yeah. This year was wild. When you think about it, yeah, it was a trying year. It really was, man. It's been so much. Man, listen, from kids to baby mamas to family to, man, listen, bad decisions. Bad decisions. A lot of bad decisions, but you know what though? Nigga, we made it. Thank God. Listen. But yeah, like, man, like, that's the thing is, I wanted to break generational curses too. I know I didn't want my boys to go through what I've been through or what I've experienced. So I made sure that I worked on myself in a manner where I could show up for them in any space, anytime, full-fledged, 100%. They're going to get every bit of me every time. But in order for you to do that, you have to work on yourself. You really have to. It's very important. And so me deciding throughout this year and going into isolation, that was like, man, that was the best thing I could have done. For real. That was the best thing I could have did. It was the best thing I could have did. This is the most peaceful, most happiest time of my life right now. And that's on my daddy. I ain't never been this peaceful and happy. So it's like, man, listen. Sometimes you got to be selfish with yourself and just stay away. You got to. Because isolation is the only way a man can elevate. You have to go into isolation and face yourself. You can't face yourself out in the public with everybody. You got to quiet that noise down and sit with yourself and ponder and think and think about the things that cause you trauma. Understand why, because there's always a why to the what. There's always a why. And confront those things. Stand 10 toes and face your fears. Anything that causes trauma, face it. If you don't face it, it might face you. And it ain't going to be good. I'm telling you, you got to face yourself. You got to. You got to. But yeah. And when I'm thinking about my thought processes or my mindset when I was going through this, man, when you trying to, like I said, you trying to break generational curses, you showing up even when it's inconvenient. You just making sure you there for your boys and your kids. Like, I made sure I was there for them, even when it was inconvenient. Even when it was unfair. Even when I knew I had someone or I didn't have what I needed for them, I still went and got them. And I made a way. Man, what? I'm coming. I don't care if I got it or not, I'm coming. You want daddy to come get you, I'm coming. We gonna be in here, man. Listen, we gonna be good. I promise you. Yo. That's when you, that's how it is as a father though. We have to sacrifice, we have to show up, even when it's inconvenient for us. Even when you're like, okay, I need to do this, okay, well, I gotta work on this, but let me get on this weekend, and I can work on that next weekend. Or I could do this for them, do this for them. Because you, man, listen, when you working, life be life. You gotta do what you gotta do and get things done. You have to. You have to. You have to. Even through the backlash of people talking about you, getting bad mouth. When you get bad mouthed, I still had to show up. Still had to show up. Still had to show up. But that was part of this journey though. And that tough time going through that, man, that jump, it put things in perspective in my life. It actually, because I had to trust God with everything. I had to. You can't, when you understand when you can't worry about things that you can't control. You can't. You cannot worry about things that you can't control. Why would you do that? Man, listen, you drive yourself crazy trying to control things that's out of your control. To understand it. To walk in it. Like, man, you gotta really protect yourself. You have to understand, put things in perspective of the things you need to focus on, the foundation of it. No matter how everything looks, no matter how bad it looks, how much do you love your kids? What are you willing to go through for them? What are you willing to do? Despite how you feel, you still got to show up every time. And that was that driving force that kept me going on this journey of this year doing this podcast. Man, listen. Because there's been some rough times, though. I ain't gonna even count. Man, listen. It was very, very difficult at times. And it's more so, like you said, facing yourself. Facing yourself. My kids watching me navigate through conflict. They watch me navigate responsibly. They watch me navigate through life. And because of that, you know, they normalize that love. They have that normalized love that helped along the journey. That helped along this isolation. They definitely helped. Because me facing myself, it shows me taking accountability for how I handle things. And they're going to see that, hey, you got to hold yourself accountable. And just the dedication. And just not stopping no matter what's going on. Because kids are smart. Kids see what's going on. But through this whole year, like, they've been really like, you know, when you working on yourself and heal parent, your kids glow and they grow. They do. And I've seen the growth in them too. Just me being on my journey, working on myself. So this is, man, listen. This has been a great year though. This has been a beautiful year. It has been. It has been. It's been very mind-blowing. I say that. Because you got to go through something to get to something. So the dedication, the consistency, you got to dig deep for those things. Because the motivation is not always going to be there. That's what I said. It's all about what you want for yourself. It's all about being disciplined. Discipline is doing something you don't want to do every day. Discipline. I think I got it from Mike Tyson. I think that's what he said. If I'm correct, y'all. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's discipline. You want better for yourself, even if you don't feel like it. Tired, working, kids. Still came down here, still made these videos, painted this room. This was a project I did this year. It's been a beautiful project, man. Listen. This room represents my mental, everything in my mind, everything. That's what this room represents. You see my dad picture behind me, you know what I'm saying? Got my boys up there, us up here together. Like, this journey has been everything I've needed. And I think it takes a grown person to really understand that and accept that and be able to say that. Like you said, yeah. Caps on Facebook say, no pain, no gain. No pain, no gain. Pain is the catalyst for change. You can't grow in comfortable spaces. You got to grow in uncomfortable spaces. You got to do the things that you've been scared to do. Push yourself beyond the parameters of life. Discipline is simply doing something you don't want to do. You do it like you love it. So you have to do it every day. If you don't like doing it, you have to do it every day. You're going to have to, yeah. It's the discipline. It's the even when you at wit's end and you just tired, you don't feel like moving. Okay, hey, let me go down here and do this. It's a dedication. And I've been dedicated, I've been consistent with this. Like, I'm proud of myself. Pat myself on the back. Hey, listen. It's been a beautiful journey though with you guys, healing and growing with y'all. Because the podcast has changed tremendously from the first time I started to now. Man, listen, it's changed so much. It's grown so much, and I've grown so much. And I pray people who's in my original community when I started this, we've grown so much. Even the new people came in. Like, that's what it's all about. It's all about growth. It's all about having uncomfortable conversations, facing things that you don't want to face, saying things that you don't want to say. Why do I feel like that? Why is this important? Why is this a thought? Like, we have to pull the rug back and turn over stones. You can't leave stones go unturned. No, you have to go and explore. You got to, hey, what's this? Ask questions. In life, ask questions. Because a lot of times, imagine how many situations that we could have avoided if we would just open our mouth and say something sometimes. We don't want to say something all the time, right? I've done that before. Shrinking. Let some things go unsaid. And that silently coming to agreement with the foolishness and the tomfoolery and the buffoonery. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said, everything I've been through in my life is my fault. And I can accept that. And I love me. It is what it is, big dog. You know, you live and you learn. But then the thing about it is you grow. You grow. You grow. When you're able to sit with yourself and become your own reason for peace and happiness, that's when you know that you got it. You understand it. Because you can sit with yourself. You love yourself. You're happy. You can sit alone and not need nobody to keep you company. But on the top of that also, keep pushing, keep pushing. Use the isolation time to grow yourself. Have a more deeper, intimate relationship with your kids. Have a more deeper, intimate relationship with God. And work on the thing that's in your purpose. This year has been a purposeful year that God has given me, and it's been beautiful. And I'm thankful for it. It's been very beautiful and very purposeful. It's been great. Even the rough parts, even the bad parts, man. Listen, I'm appreciative for those too. Because think about when you're going through a tough time and you're trying to come out of agreement with things to change your mindset. Man, everything is an experience. Everything happens is meant to happen. It's ordained to happen. Because you're not becoming, you remember who God made you to be before your vision got clouded by what the world tried to pump into us since we was adolescents. We just got to understand that. We got to know that. We definitely got to. Because there's the only way you can get yourself to a place of elevating your mind and transforming your spirit to be a better version of yourself. You have to understand that, because the carnal-minded world view is not the way. It's definitely not. The only thing that's standing in our way from us getting to the kingdom of heaven, of seeking God, is our ego. When we remove our ego, everything in life gets better. You see things in a different light. You see things in a different lens. When you understand that things don't make you who you are. Material things gonna perish. Yes, you have a nice house. Yes, you have a nice car. Yes, you have a good job. Okay, but that's not who God made you to be, though. That's not who God identified you as, right? It's not. So when you understand that and you get to the point that when you get out of your carnal-minded ways, man, listen, life gets so much easier. So much easier, so much peaceful. Because you care about what you care about, and whatever you don't care about, you don't care about. But that's why I love isolation, though. That's why I love being in isolation. Because I think everybody had that people meter that go down to zero from time to time. Because I know mine do. I can say this, though. I can say a lesson that I've learned on this whole journey. A lesson I've learned. I can say from this year I've learned 3 things. I've learned 3 things on this journey. Growth doesn't require perfection. It requires honesty. So how honest can you be with yourself? Nobody's perfect. So it's going to be ugly. It is. But how honest can you be with yourself? Can you tell yourself the truth? Can you sit with yourself and tell yourself the truth? That's really deep. It's hard. A lot of people won't do it, though. Like I said, growth doesn't require perfection. It requires honesty. You can't fake it. You can't hide. You can't wait until you're ready. You start where you are. Because we got to realize, ready is not an emotion. People say, whenever I get ready, you'll never be ready. Ready is not an emotion. Ready is a decision. Ready is a mindset. Once you make that decision, that's when you're ready. Making the decision is saying, I'm ready. But you sitting there looking at it, at the fork in the road, looking like, I don't know which way to go. I don't know which way to go. You're not ready. Of course not. Because you think you're supposed to have the feeling of the emotion of readiness. That's an illusion. There's no feeling of readiness because you're never ready for anything new. You're learning. I wasn't ready to be a father, but I learned how to be one. Listen. Through life, life is like Super Mario World. Life is like Super Mario World. No shortcuts, no tunnels, no secret entrances. Well, I take that back. Because the decisions you make in life are like going down that secret tunnel to take you to a different world. The decisions you You know how you go through that secret part in the Mario board? That da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, you go how you go behind that door, you find that little secret hiding spot. That's like a decision you make in life. I pray y'all catching these analogies. But the secret passages in Super Mario World is like, that's how life is. The decisions you make are going to put you in a certain state. And sometimes one decision can fast forward your life 5 years. Just by being disciplined and obedient to God. This one decision can fast forward your life 5 years. Seriously. And that's been the mindset of going through this journey for this year doing this podcast. God has really spoke to me. God has really showed me things. God is really... I'm trying to say it but y'all can understand it. I'm not going to go too deep, but it's like when this is your favorite ice cream. This is my favorite ice cream right here. I love this ice cream, but your parents try to get you to try another type of ice cream, but you really don't want to try it. And you have to go through your mind in the thought process of trying something new. It's like it is when you're trying to change your mindset when you're in isolation, when you're trying to grow. You have to build yourself up to try it. But like I said, ready is not an emotion. Ready is a decision. When you decide you want a better life for yourself, you're going to make that decision. That's when you're ready, when you make the decision. Thinking about it is not ready. You just got to make that decision. When you make the decision, that's when you're ready, for real. Like I said, growth doesn't require perfection. It requires honesty. You can't fake it. You can't hide. You can't wait until you're ready. You start where you are. What's up, Roger? Appreciate you tapping in. Yeah. Man, listen. Ready is not an emotion. It's a decision. Any part of life you want to get to, you want that new job, but you got to make the decision to put in that application, right? You got to make the decision to take that first step, put in the application. That's what everything in life. You got to make the decision to do so. That's when you're ready. Ready is not an emotion. And I had to learn that. This whole year of doing this podcast, I've learned that. I've learned that, man. Listen, your journey is your journey. It's nobody else's journey. Nobody's not meant to understand. Nobody's ever going to probably feel like, oh, I get what they're doing. They might, but their journey is different from yours. So nobody can judge anybody's journey. That's an important thing that we need to remember, though. We definitely need to. It's all about presence. It's not about performance. This year has taught me it's all about presence and not performance. Showing up every day. Continue to work on myself. Not quitting. To push yourself to the very next version, the very best version of yourself. You got to face yourself. And through this year, like I said, this process of me doing this podcast, man, I had to grow with y'all. Like I said, we're growing together. I didn't have it figured out. I wasn't perfect. I was just being honest and transparent. Not scared to talk about things that people are not too comfortable talking about. Let's have uncomfortable conversations, because deep conversations rule the nation. You can, man, listen, conversation goes a long way. Like I said, you can give anybody a good word. They can probably try to remove themselves. But you give them that one good word, man, listen, they good. Because you saw them and you acknowledged them. That goes a long way sometimes, y'all. But yeah, it's about presence. It's not about performance. It's not about showing off. It's about showing up quietly, consistently, and unapologetically. And why I say that, showing up, it's not shrinking. What Lil Wayne said, gangsters move in silence like lasagna. People talk too much. They put too much of their business out there. Everybody ain't know what you're doing. Move quietly. On this isolation, you have to learn how to move quietly. You have to move consistently. And you have to be yourself. Live out loud, laugh out loud, love out loud, to be yourself 100%, unapologetically. You got to. Everybody always gonna have something to say, whether it's good or bad, whether you're doing good or whether you whatever you got going on. Somebody else gonna have something negative to say. But why worry about it? Though I said nobody can judge anybody's journey because the decision you make, I might think it might be a bad decision. I don't like to say bad decision because your truth is that may have been a reasonable decision to make. Just like on my end. Somebody might say, man, you made some bad decisions, but it probably wasn't a bad decision when I made it. It probably turned into a bad decision after the fact. But that's life. Just embrace each other, man. Love each other. Speak life to one another. Keep your head up. Hey, God bless. Hey, that's what it's all about. Like I said, life already hard enough. Don't make it hard. We don't have to make it hard. I feel like we definitely should focus on ourselves. The more we focus on ourselves, the more life, and more everything will flow smoothly. Just be honest. So healing myself is like healing a generation. Healing a generation and setting a blueprint for my boys. That's what this isolation really meant to me. Healing the things, battling the generational curses that my granddaddy didn't deal with, my dad didn't deal with, but it falls on me to deal with it so my sons don't have to deal with it. And when you understand that, you're going to move differently. Your energy is going to be different. You're really not going to indulge in too much. You're going to really be careful how you move. Like I said, it's chess, not checkers. It's chess. So dealing with those generational curses on this journey, man, like, when you're trying to elevate, that's when everything that you didn't think was a problem becomes a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. You be like, dang, that's a problem too. Yeah. But to whose standards? Because the biggest mistake we made is setting our standards to man and not God. That's the thing about it. That's where we mess up so much. Because I've done that. That's why I said this isolation, this journey of me doing this year, doing this podcast for a year it's been beautiful. It's been ugly. But, you know, I've liked the results that I've gotten out of isolating and working on myself and starting this podcast. It's all about transparency and honesty. If you can't be transparent, then, you know, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. But, yeah, this is my year anniversary. I started January 11, 2025. This is January 11, 2026. This has been truly a blessing. This is a God-given gift right here, guys. This is orchestrated by God. Like this. Man, I never thought I'd have a podcast, be up here talking, because I used to be so quiet. Thank you, twin. I appreciate that, Rodrina. Whole year, keep going. I am. I promise you I am. I love doing it. I'm keep on going. I got some big plans coming too, y'all. Y'all keep your eyes open, more content, some more little, you know, some more big things I'm working on. So y'all just stay tuned. Some real dope stuff coming up. Got some real dope things coming. But here's the question that I want to leave y'all with, though. Do we all believe that working on yourself 100% affects everything around you, your whole environment? I believe that. Because a healed parent is going to set the environment. We don't set the tone. When you set the tone for your house to have a peaceful vibe to it, your kids are going to thrive more. They're going to flourish. And setting that peaceful vibe and pouring into them 100%, like provide them infrastructure. That's why I feel like it's very important for us to heal ourselves. Because we have to, how can we be a great parent if we don't know what to say to our kids when they're eternally hurting, they're spiritually hurting? We have to be able to see that and speak to that. And I feel like that's the next level of parenthood that we all should tap into. Yeah. Like, give your kids, pour life into them. Pour life into them. This whole isolation was setting the record straight. Generational curses. I dealt with grief. I dealt with death in my life. Like, just boom, boom, boom. Like, you know, that really opened your mind up for a different perspective. Like, I look at life totally different since my dad had passed away. Like, that was my moment where it's just like, okay. But I've gained a lot of wisdom from them while they were here. And I've gained even more wisdom with them since they're gone. And that's crazy because death has such a beautiful meaning. Like, well, I'm not even going to say death. I don't believe in that. I believe in transcending. Like, because we have a living soul, y'all. We have a living soul, so that's not possible. But that's a whole conversation for another day, y'all. But, yeah, man. My boys really gave me the another extra booster juice to keep pushing on this podcast. Because my son, he done tapped in a few times. and he think it's so cool. I was like, for real? He was like, yeah. He was like, I want to do me one, kids want to do the game and stuff like that. So, he like it. So I was just like, shoot, if you like it, I let them come down here with me. They tinker with stuff, not too much though, because kids be tearing stuff up. They be tearing stuff up. But it wasn't to be seen. It was just something that I knew that the world needed. God put it in my heart to start this podcast, to speak life into the world, be a light in the midst of darkness. Because there's so much negativity going on, man. You gonna get anything negative anywhere. Just as soon as you open up your screen on any social media site, you can see negativity right there. But if we want better, bro, we gotta think better. See no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil. We definitely have to lock in on that. We definitely need to. So I got another question I wrote down. This is a deeper question. Who are you showing up for? Not for applause, but because it matters. For the ones who come after you. How are you showing up for your kids? I think everybody who has kids, that's everybody's foundation. It should be everybody's foundation to keep going, to do better, to work on yourself, to improve yourself, to make a better life for them. I think that's everybody's grounding point. It should be if you're a parent. But how are you showing up? If you're not working on yourself, if you're not healing yourself, how can you show up for your child when they need something? They don't understand the eternal mental aspect of why certain things happen, when people are being cruel or bullying and stuff like that. You have to show up for them not only in the physical way, but you have to show up for them in a spiritual, mentally, and emotional way too. You have to. You have to. Because there's no way we can really, how can we really judge ourselves as parents if we can't show up for our kids spiritually, mentally, and emotionally? We got to give them that spiritual healing too. You got to be able to pray for your kids. You got to be able to pray with your kids. Because faith is the only thing that we have that's solid in this world to hold on to, y'all. And that was the whole point of my isolation for this year doing this podcast. Like, this has been taking a step out on faith and doing this. It's a lot of challenges that are going to come with it. It's definitely a lot of challenges. It's been a crazy year, like my homeboy Sway said. Hey, it's been a crazy year, man. Listen, we could write a book about this year. We really could. Man, listen. It's really been a difficult, challenging, uncomfortable, beautiful, fulfilling year. Yeah, it's been that. Yeah, all of the above. Yes, it has been. Yes. But yeah. But 1 year in, though, y'all. It's 1 year. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm still showing up. This is a growth. This is a journey. This is a process. So that's why I tell y'all, hey, y'all jump on the train. Y'all want to bend a few corners with your boy. Hey, I be dropping these videos. Hey, y'all tap in. Y'all share live. Love, subscribe, like, do all of that stuff. Yes. The spiritual healing, spiritual elevation. That's been what this journey been about. It's been about growth. Being a better version of yourself spiritually, mentally, emotionally. Healing all of those childhood wounds from relationships. Any type of wound you experience, any type of trauma you experience in life, you have to face those things in your isolation. You have to. Because that's the only way you can grow and get to the peaceful part of your life. You have to be peaceful with yourself before you can be peaceful and loving with somebody else. You got to love yourself and you got to have peace. So that's the main thing too. That's the part of isolation. That's the part of working on yourself and putting the work in. That's the whole point. So the passion I have for doing this, like, I don't think this podcast saved me or anything like that, quote unquote. I ain't gonna say it saved me. I ain't gonna say that. It gave me a place where I could be honest. And that's crazy, right? But it's okay though, because this is my purpose. This definitely is my purpose. Because I got a passion for it. I love it. With everything in me. This has become part of me. This is me. This is my high vibrational side. This is my intellectual side. This is all of me. All of me. 100% transparent and honest. No cap. But yes, it gave me a place to be honest. And this is how I learned how to save myself. as in my meditation, me praying and understanding the things I need to work on myself, the things God wanted me to talk about. I have to look at myself and evaluate, am I doing those things before I speak it? So it's like I said, it's a growth thing. I've grown on this podcast. I've grown in life behind the scenes. This has been a tremendous, beautiful journey. Like I said, it's the scenic route. The scenic route is always beautiful. It's always the most challenging. It's always the most difficult. And there's no other way. I mean, you can take the road everybody else taking, but you know how that road go. You never know where you're going to end up with that. But it's safe to say that when you decide to work on yourself, you got to strip down all your ideologies. You have to have an ego removal. You got to understand and tap into who God made you to be. Not just your ideologies you picked up with growing up, depending on how you were raised, religious constructs, social constructs, societal constructs, all the trends and the hype and all the fads and everything like that. When you go on this walk, you got to strip all that down, because none of that stuff matters. The only thing that matters is your soul. And you're looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, hey, we going to fix this or we going to let this stay here? That's the thing. Working on yourself, that's how you get to the better version of yourself. That's why it's so important to do that. But that's what this year has really taught me, for real though. Being honest with yourself, being transparent with yourself. The ideology of life, the ideology of family, the ideology of love, the ideology of everything. When you go through an ego removal, none of that matters. Because that whole ideology doesn't matter. You lining up with what God says about it. And that divine sense of that is, man, listen. Like I said, once you put them glasses on, you can't unsee it no more. You can't unsee it. You cannot. And it's like you just want to stay isolated and improve on yourself. Like, it's kind of like working out in the gym. This journey is kind of like that. At first, you be hurting, but after a while, you get addicted to the burn, and you just keep on going. You just keep on going. Like, you like the results that you're getting, so you're going to keep on pushing through. Whatever it is, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, to be the better version of yourself, to be a better version of yourself for your kids. And I had to go through that because they deserve a better version of me. They deserve the very best version of me. My boys do. So how can I not give my very best to them? If I'm not willing to work on myself to show up for them like I need to, I ain't no good to nobody, baby. What your grandma used to say, ain't worth a thing. It was just better to go the road less travel in the long run. Yeah, that's true, Caps. Cap says it's best to take the road that's abandoned, the road that ain't that many people on. Man, listen, people say, why you acting weird? Why you being so quiet? Man, listen. Life, sometimes you have to be quiet to listen, to hear what God got to say. You got to quiet down that outside noise. And that's been a part of the journey going this far too. And what's so crazy, man, 1 year in and I'm still learning. Like I said, I'm still learning. Today marks a year for Jude's Word Podcast. Thank God for that. I'm still growing. I'm still showing up. Hey, it's still things I'm working on within myself, and it's okay. That's what it's about, bro. It's about uncomfortable conversation, being transparent. We're going to talk about stuff that's uncomfortable. And I was willing to do that. Not give up, keep pushing, not worrying about being seen, not worrying about what nobody think. Man, just being me and just doing what God had me to do. And this is one part of it. This is all of it, but this is one part of it. So I thank God for this. I thank God for the opportunity to make this platform to bless y'all with some wisdom. You know what I'm saying? But the growth on this journey to be able to do this, speaking, being transparent, this is a blessing to y'all. Being transparent is a blessing to my sons. I'm not, my homegirl, Rodrigo said, don't stop. I can't stop. It ain't much an option, twin. It's not an option. Yeah. It's not an option. It's really not. There's no option for me to stop doing this. It's not an option for me to quit. This is a part of my growth. So this is dear to me. And I love blessing y'all. And I love blessing and doing this for my sons. And just giving wisdom, man. That's what it's all about. Like I said, be a blessing to somebody. Thank you. Thank you, Michi. I appreciate that. Yeah, just being transparent. Like, it's part of my growth. If y'all want to grow with me, y'all stay tuned in. Y'all tap, follow, like, share, subscribe. All social media platforms. I'm going to give y'all the gusto. You never stop learning until you start breathing. Yes, Cam. Oh, God, you never stop learning. You never stop growing. You never stop doing none of that till you die. So anybody feel like they've reached their full capacity, no, that's arrogant. If they feel like they perfect already, bro, that's arrogant. But everybody, we all have work to do. We all have things we can improve on. We all have things that we can work on that will put us to the next level by just working on one thing a day on yourself. Just one thing. One thing a day. One thing. Take time to work on one thing you feel like you need to improve on. And work on it. Be the very best version of yourself. Believe in yourself. Love yourself. Pour into yourself. Because if you don't love you, who's going to love you? If you don't think you the hottest thing out here, then who going to think you hotter than you? Who hotter than me? And it what Plies said. Who hotter than me? Like, you got to feel like that about yourself. You got to. You got to feel like you the best thing smoking out here. Because if you don't, ain't nobody else going to think that. They not. Man, it's a lot of situations we get into with bad friendships, bad relationships, bad marriages, bad association with family, whoever. Man, when you love yourself more, like I said, a lot of stuff everything we go through in our life is our fault because we allowed it to happen. We came into agreement with it for it to happen. So protect your energy at all costs. That's one thing I have learned this year in this isolation doing this podcast. Man, protect your energy. Protect your energy. How can you be at peace if you give your energy out to everybody and keep nothing for yourself? Keep your energy, man. I really had to regulate that. Because like you said, everybody can't go to the next level. You got to cut some folk off. You got to get quiet. And it don't mean, no hard feelings, but you don't need nobody to validate you want to improve yourself. I don't think we should do that. I don't think we have to do that. I hope don't nobody do that. You don't have to have permission to improve yourself. If they get it, they get it. If they don't, they don't. Everything happens for a reason. Whoever meant to be your friend ain't gonna be there. If they not, they ain't made the cut. God said they can't go with you to the next level. That's how life is. That's definitely how life is. But 1 year, I'm still walking. I'm still showing up. Hey, we're breaking cycles. I tell you, I'm trying to break generational cycles. That's what me working on myself. Right, consistency is prophetic. You proved it, yes. Now that's true. Consistency is prophetic. You want to see something, be consistent with it. 21 days or more, it becomes a habit, right? And just stay consistent with it. That was my ideology. That's my thought process being in this space. If I want to do something, I got to pour into it. I go and clock in at work and work daydream. Shoot, if I work 8 to 10 hours a daydream, I could put 10 to 20 hours on my dream. I'm just saying. Because if you don't believe in you and pour into yourself, who gonna believe you? Look at the places that we work. Look at the places that you work. They started off where we was. They had a dream too, like Martin Luther King. I got a dream 3. Well, God dang it, I'm pouring into mine. They poured into theirs, I'm pouring into mine. That's how it gotta be. If you work 8 for somebody, you better work 16 for yourself after that. You gotta put in double work for yourself. You gotta invest in yourself. Bet on yourself. Even when nobody believes in you, bet on yourself. Always bet on yourself. Because if you don't, man, listen. Scared money don't make no money. Bet on yourself. Hey, we gotta bet on ourselves. So we should view ourselves the way God views us. He viewed us in our lightness and our darkness when he made us and said we was good, right? So we gotta move like it. We gotta speak like it. We gotta talk like it. We gotta feel like it. What Deion Sanders said, once you look good, you feel good. Once you feel good, you play good. And when you play good, they pay good. That's how it go. You got, man, you're promoting yourself. When you confident, you promote yourself because you know you confident. You know you're attractive. You got to carry that. No matter what situations, you got to keep your head up. Got to put your chest out. Keep going. Everybody don't have to know what you're doing. If they don't understand it, keep going. You owe nobody an explanation for bettering yourself or leveling up. And so me cutting off access to level up myself, I do it every time. Every time. Every time. But you have to be like that though. You have to understand that isolation pushes for growth. As a man, we can't grow until we isolate and face ourselves. That's the foundation. That's the base. Just the base of it. Yeah. That's definitely the base. But I chose to show up, despite being everything I'd have been through, still pushing through, still choosing love, still breaking cycles, still choosing growth over comfort. Gotta choose growth over comfort. Got to. And like I said, I'm never gonna stop for them boys. My boys, that's my fire to keep going. That's part of my fire to keep going. That's a part of it. They definitely are an important piece of the part that keeps me going. It keeps me going on this journey when I've been focused on these years. Like, they keep me grounded, man. Listen, unconditional love for your kids, it changes everything. Make everything better, I promise you. But it's been very mind-boggling, because when you realize just how deep that things get when you on your isolation, and how you can tap back into the things that troubled you since your childhood, and you just worked on them, and you just put on the gas and kept going. Just put on the gas. Like, forget everything, forget everybody. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm going to tap into. This is what I'm going to do. I don't need no validation from nobody. This is what I'm doing. If they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. That's the whole mindset. You got to stay focused. You got to stay locked in. And those were the battles that I went through spiritually, mentally, emotionally, doing this podcast for this year. Having them grow for these spaces, to be able to show up, to give truth, to give honesty, to give transparency. Like, I ain't trying to come out here and lead nobody wrong or tell them they're wrong, so I'm telling you, I check myself at the door first. But, man, it's still nostalgic. I've been doing this for a year. Dang, that time flew by, y'all. That time flew by so fast. But I appreciate all y'all love, man. I appreciate all y'all support. I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna keep going. Hey, it's attached to my growth, so I'm gonna keep on going. If y'all want to go on the elevator with your boy, y'all come on. Y'all come on. Right. It's becoming a table, not a platform. People will come to eat, heal, and think. Yes. This is not just a platform. This is a table. This is my table. What Meechie said, people can come to eat, heal, and think. Eat, heal, and think. Yes. This is a table. This isn't just a platform. This is a table. You can come over here. You always want to come and eat, think, and heal over here. Hey, no judge, we don't judge. We don't judge. But yes, this has been a beautiful journey. This has been maybe mind-blowing, man. God has really moved. I'm appreciative for how far he's brought me on this journey right here. Like, it's pretty dope. I still be forgetting, man. Listen, I still can't believe I got a podcast. It's crazy. It's great though. It's beautiful. I love it. I love the growth. The people who locked in with me, I'm locked in with y'all. Anybody who want to come and be locked in, y'all come on, be locked in. This is the people who've been with me since I started this podcast. You know what you're gonna get. So share with a friend, share with a friend. Y'all tap in. Y'all share the news. Hey, I'm always have a reel up. Hey, I got content coming on all platforms, lives. Y'all check out my accounts all across social media platforms, all of them. So I'm gonna keep on bringing y'all some hot topics, some good transparency, some good things to think about, some good spiritual food. Because we all need to heal, we all need to grow. This is the year of the Great Awakening. So let's be woke, let's strive, let's push the parameter to the levels we never pushed them before. 2026, let's isolate for the whole year and focus on the things that we want to accomplish and pour into our dreams and make them come to fruition. That's what type of time I'm on. Being the very best version I could be of myself for my boys to set up lineage and legacy. So, listen, me and my gap, that's what it's all about. You got to be in your gap. You got to build up what you want to see in your life. You got to see it, speak it, think it, and put in the work to go get it. Time waits for nobody. Time waits for nobody. It does not. And I appreciate y'all. I appreciate everybody who's been here. I appreciate everybody who's tapping in, who just joined the movement with me, you know, speaking life, you know, and elevating and being the very best version of yourself. But if anybody want to go back, y'all go check my platforms. You can see all the content that I posted. This is episode 44, 44th episode of Juice WRLD, year's anniversary. I appreciate y'all tapping in, showing love. Keep a lookout for more content. Year 1 in the books, 2026. Let's go. We up out of here. All right, y'all be blessed. Have a good evening.